That's basically what you are.
How many guys are as clutch as him, though?
Yeah, I mean, he's even got luck on his side at this point. It's ridiculous.
He's got everything going, and he's a young kid that can back it up, won a World Series, plays third base, which is a very tough position to play in the MLB. Currently batting .282, 61 runs, 19 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases.
God, he's worse than when A-Rod was on top and being a cocky asshole.
Yeah, but just like A-Rod did, I didn't like A-Rod, but he backed it up.
I always respected the shit out of A-Rod for some reason because he was a generational talent.
I hate that guy.
Not recognize that.
Even when he slapped the ball out of Bronson Royal's hand, stood there and cried and said he didn't do anything.
With the hands on his head like he spilled milk.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I lose respect for players like that. But I mean, he was an unbelievable player, and he could back it up. So you can pimp stuff like that. You can, if you're a good player, you can do it. Now, if Odor pimped the shit out of his 450, actually tonight he did. He hit a bloop double.
Yeah.
He got up, banging his chest, clapping his hands, and me and my dad are watching the game. My dad looks at me and goes, "Are you really pimping a double down 4-1?"
That's Roogie though. Roogie does it all the time.
Yeah, but Roogie doesn't have he's not good.
Yeah, and he also plays for the Rangers, so that helps.
Yeah.
They don't get excited about a lot.
No, that's the thing, though. Bad teams have to get excited for something, but that's a player that shouldn't do it because he's not good. Like, he had a couple good years, but he's had more bad years than good, and he's been shit since he signed his contract. He's shit this year. That's just a player that shouldn't do that. And if you get, if Blake Swihart goes out and do that, I'd be like, dude, Blake, like, people are going to start hating you, man. You don't have it. But if Ortiz did it, it's David Ortiz. He's the best DH of all time. If you have the stats and back it up, people aren't going to be that upset about it. But if you suck, i.e. Trevor Bauer, having a great year, been amazing this year. Career-wise, though, I'm not going to listen to that dude on anything when it comes to mechanics, about this and that. Like, nothing's Trevor Bauer. You're not that great.
I think he is. I love him.
I love how I like the personality in sports. I really do. Like Bregman, he's cocky, but Bregman's nasty. Trevor Bauer's had one good year. Bauer, if you pitch the next 3 years all-star level, 3 ERA or around it, I'll listen to about all you want to the cows come home. But if next year you throw a 4.7 ERA and you cut your finger on a drone again, being an idiot, everyone's just going to laugh at you again.
That was pretty
between
dumb. I will
Bregman and Gurriel, I want to punch both of them in the face.
That's funny.
We're approaching the hour mark, so
damn, we're good.
One thing I want to get a little bit more in depth with is Manny Machado before we move on to the Toronto series preview. Now, Ken Rosenthal tweeted out a little over an hour ago that he basically reiterating that the Yankees are right in the thick of these talks, and the Dodgers and Brewers are offering serious packages. He did say, a Baltimore writer reported earlier in the evening that Justice Sheffield is not a part of the current offer, which is said to be strong for Machado.
But I don't think that deal gets done
without him.
That's not it. It's great for the Yankees. I read yesterday that the Dodgers were looking for other options at middle infield than Machado.
Dozier.
Yeah.
That was exactly reported yesterday as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would take Moustakas as well, or if the focus is just, the corner infield.
Yeah, because Turner's going to play third. That's the only thing. Turner's going to play third. Bellinger, I guess, is playing first right now.
Yeah, he plays first.
So, I mean, I don't think you need middle infielders because you're not going to be able to. I mean, Chase Utley is Chase Utley, but he can't do it for long.
Right. No, he's not. He's not going to do it at an elite level either.
Yeah. And Moustakas was linked earlier in the week, or maybe late last week, to Moustakas, and I mean that would be a very under the radar move for them because Moustakas is a lefty. That's a lefty-friendly hitting field. So
the
Yankees, yes.
Yeah, they were saying they're going to play him at first base.
Yeah, and then the Royals, what do? Immediately, they're like, "Hey, Mike, grab your first baseman mitt. That's where you're playing tonight." And they had a scout there to watch him play. So just another option. But I have been saying the whole time that I do believe Manny Machado will end up in a Yankees uniform this year. Where do you guys see him going if you had to pick right now?
Yankees. I think it's Arizona. I still think it's Arizona. Like, For some reason, I got locked in. I know that they don't have an offering yet, but it doesn't mean that they can't swoop in. They need, especially after a thumping like tonight, like you need more offense than that.
No, at one point, the starting pitcher for the Rockies hit a home run off of a position player pitching.
Oh God!
And it was a moonshot. It was crushed.
Pitchers who rake.
But yeah, I think it's the Yankees. When I met Terry, I think even in the interview process we talked about that, and I said the Yankees. And if it's not the Yankees this year, regardless if he makes a trade or whatever,
yeah, he'll be there next year.
I think he'll be there next. He's the perfect Yankee. You want to talk about a guy that's cocky, that's a douche, that thinks he's better than everyone, that would 100% quote unquote earn his pinstripes. It's Manny Machado.
He hates the Red Sox just enough too.
Hates the Red Sox, like would love it. He would love to play in New York, and I think he ends up there. And if the Yankees can get away without giving up Sheffield, and obviously not giving up Torres, if you can give away like one of your lower, your fifth or sixth prospects for Machado, and kind of woo him and be like, hey, like you're here, we're making a run, maybe we win the World Series. I mean, that's a win-win, I think.
I don't know that Machado hates the Red Sox. I know a lot of people look back to some of the controversies from last year, but when they first came to Fenway this year, he was kind of making his rounds. Even when he was on base, he was joking with Moreland. You saw him joking with Bogarts quite a bit, Devers as well, Mookie even. And then I think there was a reason that Pedroia was willing to kind of throw the bullpen under the bus, because I think there's even something there with him and Machado, even though 24, 48 hours earlier, Machado had that ridiculous slide right into his leg, which was I've always said was dirty, but I don't know that he necessarily hates the Red Sox, but I do agree wholeheartedly that he's got Yankee written all over him. He is a punk, the guy that everybody loves to hate, so why not put that uniform on? And Stanton fit the part right away. I mean, even Yankee fans hated him, he
was not very well liked when he got over there. And on for the slide of Machado, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but if Pedroia did that to Machado, I have no problem with it.
Oh, no. Yeah, that would be fine.
Hardcore baseball, like, I don't think the Utley rule needed to come into effect. I think that if you're going to stand there and pay the price, you're going to have to take it. I think it's no different than when if you hit a star player on the team in the back because you're down 9-0 and you're pissed off, that next day when you're
going to get hit.
They're going to get hit. Now, should you hit him in the head? No. Do I think that if the guy's 4 feet off the bag at second and you try and take him out and do this weird slide tackle, looks like Batman in the video game? No, I don't think there's anything for that in the game. But, for example, the Buster Posey rule. If you're going to stand there, get off the tracks. Just get out of the way. If you're not going to get the ball, just move. I mean, is that one run in game 86 when you're up 2-1? Is it worth it?
Well,
that's what it comes.
I think
I didn't mind it too much what Manny did. I think
it wasn't exactly Batista and Odor either.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't clean. It wasn't dirty. It was that gray area. But I mean, I like the response from the Red Sox. I think you got to throw at them, and I think that's part of baseball. I don't like Manny's response afterwards, freaking out.
Interview.
But yeah, like, dude, you're gonna get the ball thrown at you, and I think one of them sailed above his head by like 8 feet though. Like, it wasn't even close.
Welcome to baseball.
Yeah, like it wasn't in his ear hole. So I think Machado handled that poorly. I think the Red Sox handled it fine.
And I think I really believe that Barnes wasn't trying to throw at his head. Barnes has control issues. The ball rises quite a bit with him, and I think that's where it goes. And the one thing I love to tell the Pedroia huggers that love to throw Barnes under the bus, I always tell them, hey, that was a strike. That ball was a strike. It went off the bat.
That's how high the ball was, though. It hit the top of the bat. Like, if he wanted to in the head, he would have hit you in the shoulder, the chin, the top of the helmet. That thing was sailed.
In between the numbers.
He didn't even have to move. Manny Machado could have stood still, and the ball wouldn't have come close to him.
Right.
What are the odds that Manny wore extra padding that day? He wore like a body armor type thing, probably.
Well, Sale did the same thing that series. I think it was that very same series. He threw out his legs, and it was business as usual. And I don't
Warnings
think
were
much.
issued, and it was over.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Otto was so upset. Was like, you already threw me once, now you're going to throw me again, and this and that. First of all, you don't get to decide how many times you get thrown at, because if you're going to go out and take out our best player in the leg, in a game like that, you're kind of at the mercy.
In a meaningless game.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. It's just, that's just baseball. It literally, I had a teacher who I was with once, and he told me he played like semi-pro ball after college in a nothing league just for fun. And they were in the playoffs, and he hit a walk-off home run. He pimped it so bad. He threw his helmet up there, screaming and yelling. And all he heard when he was rounding the bases was, number 7, number 7, number 7, number 7. Next day, game 2, he leads off. He walks in the batter's box. He tells the ump, I'm going to stand on the back. He put his feet together, sat in the back corner of the batter's box, got beamed in between the numbers. Turns around, he goes, you're going to throw him out? He goes, you remember what you did yesterday?
Exactly.
And he said, yeah, fair enough.
Unwritten rules are there for a reason. Like, they keep the game going. And it keeps baseball.
Yeah. Listen, you're never going to hear me to say take that stuff out. You're never going to hear me, just like in hockey. I'm a big hockey guy. Don't take fighting out of hockey. Let them police it themselves. Do I agree in sucker punching someone from behind on the third minute? No. Just like I don't believe you should hit somebody in the chin if they, make you upset because they hit a home run and pimped it. There's a level to everything, but, you got to keep the unwritten rules and little things in baseball there.
I'm not a big bat pimp guy, when...
Yeah, I don't care about the bat flips. Really.
Oh, yeah, I don't care either. Just don't give up a 33,000-foot home run.
Exactly.
Just be better.
Yeah.
It's like when pitchers celebrate after they get out of a bases-loaded jam, It's like...
Yeah, just don't
strike out.
Yeah, just don't whiff on 3 straight pitches.
Yeah, I think that's a little different, though. I don't know. I guess I'm just a little bit more of a purist. With Bautista, I guess I would be willing to say there's a difference between pimping it in Game 5 of the ALDS and then...
It wasn't even a walk-off either. It was just to take the lead.
But I'm more fine with that in that moment than I am on a Wednesday night in July, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's situational for you.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, fans didn't help by throwing shit on the field after that either.
Yeah, I might have liked it better if it wasn't Bautista either. If that was a player I liked. Regardless,
it was like Edwin or somebody like that.
Yeah, that would have been a little more palatable. But I do like the players like Brian McCann. How many times has he stood in front of home plate and not allowed the home run hitter to touch the bag?
With Jose Fernandez.
That was an all-timer right there. That was great.
Yeah.
And he's a pitcher, too. Like, of all people, he should know better.
It was his first one, and he kind of pimped it a little bit.
Yeah.
He was walking out of the batter's box, which is great.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And McCann should have just... And McCann's a douche, too. Like, that's another guy.
I love McCann.
He was basically a born Yankee that just so happened to be a Brave for too long.
Yeah, he's another Brett Gardner type. Brett Gardner's another douche that fits perfectly in the Yankees with some of his comments about, like, what was his recent comment about the nicknames and how he didn't want one because
he just wanted Gardner on the back.
Yeah, it's my name. Like, why would I change my name? It's how I got here.
First of all, douchebag. Normally, you don't have your name on the back anyway.
Seriously. Yeah, I don't care for players that complain so much about that, and that leads into another point that I actually wanted to make, and I just remembered it, Terry. You made me bring it up with the whole baseball purist thing. There's an article on ESPN today about they talked to 3 hitters about what they should do about the shift in baseball, and if they should eliminate it, and if they should, make it so you can't do it. And they talked to Matt Carpenter. They talked to...
That's a good one to talk to, too.
Yeah, they talked to Carpenter and 2 other guys. I'm blanking on who it was right now, but they're guys that are top 5 in like shift, balls hit into the shift. Oh, it was Daniel Murphy, somebody else, and then Carpenter was last in the article.
Gallo would be a good one to talk to about that.
Yeah, well, they talked to guys that actually had like good averages too, like Murphy, and Carpenter. They didn't talk to guys like JBJ or anything like that who hits 220. But their main point was they said, do you think that they should change it? And they kind of went both ways. They're like, it's not easy just to hit it to the other side of the field when it's a 98 coming in at your hands on a cutter. That makes sense. But for the most part,